Dear friends, my name is Lana Smith. I am a piano teacher in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This spring, 2025, in April, we went to Durango. It's a beautiful mountain town in south of Colorado. It's about 5-6 hours drive from Colorado Springs, and it was a good reason to go that far to visit the festival of early jazz and ragtime. People came to this festival from all around the United States and even from England to listen to wonderful music. My husband Scott and I recorded a lot of performances, so many performances that we cannot share them in one video. So this is first video, and hopefully I will make more videos about this wonderful festival.
Adam Swanson is a world-class musician, bringing ragtime to the world, keeping it alive, and bringing some of the most excellent musicians from around the country to Durango, Colorado, to the Diamond Bell Saloon, and it is a fantastic event. If you ever get a chance to come out to Durango and see it, you have to come.
Nice to have you with us. Appreciate you coming to the festival. You know, many people don't realize that ragtime is the first truly original American music. And so I wanted to celebrate both ragtime and jazz during this festival. Without ragtime, there would be no blues, jazz, rock and roll, or anything else. And so you're going to hear a little bit more traditional ragtime today. And I'm going to open the concert with a tune that was written way back in 1900. And at the time, everybody was listening to this music. The tune is called "I'm Certainly Living a Ragtime Life."
Got more troubles than I can stand. Ever since ragtime swept the land, never seen the like in all my days. Everyone has got the ragtime craze. Stood it just as long as I could. At last I got it, and I got it good. At first I didn't want any in mine, but now I'm right in line. I got a ragtime dog and a ragtime cat, a ragtime piano in my ragtime flat. I wear ragtime clothes from hat to shoes. I read a paper called the Ragtime News. I got a ragtime habits and I talk that way. I sleep in ragtime and rag all day. I've got ragtime troubles with my ragtime life. I'm certainly living a ragtime life. Went to church last Sunday morn. Hymns were in ragtime as sure as you're born. Every pipe man pounds is gone. Clockets and watches all running wrong. Like what music fills the air. It can't be dodged, it's everywhere. Once I didn't belong, you see, but now you can't lose me. I got a ragtime dog and a ragtime cat, a ragtime piano in my ragtime flat. I wear ragtime clothes from hat to shoes. I read a paper called the Ragtime News. I got ragtime habits and I talk that way. I sleep in ragtime and I rag all day.
from Eugene, Oregon. And I
Oregon?
love this Eugene, Oregon. Oregon.
Oregon. Oh my gosh,
Eugene,
that's a
Oregon.
long way.
So I'm a little far away from home, but it's worth every minute of being here. And Adam puts on a great festival. He did it several years ago, and I loved it. When I heard he was going to do it again this year, I said, I'm there.
All right, wonderful. And you're together, right?
Yes, we're together, but I'm from the Bay Area.
Bay Area?
Yeah, San Francisco.
Oh my
area.
goodness. We have the whole United States here.
Oh yes, we've got people from all over the country here because they know these piano players and they're famous internationally. They're the best of this type there are. So we want to enjoy their music.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Hi, we're from Virginia, and we're here enjoying all of this wonderful music. And we've listened to Adam Swanson since he was a kid, and we've heard all of these other players too. They're wonderful.
talking with a gentleman here who came from Florida for the Ragtime Festival. Would you please tell us your name and tell why you're here and how you like music?
And I'm from Panama City, Florida.
Oh, I lived in Panama City.
Did you? Or
Yes.
You know it well.
So how do you know about this festival?
I'm a YouTube fan of Adams. I watch every Sunday. He has a show, live show that he puts on. And so as soon as he announced it, I grabbed some tickets right away and thought I would do a road trip, which is on my bucket list.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir.
You're quite welcome. It's nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
It is my pleasure to play for you as my first number, a piece by James Scott entitled The New Era Rag.
And here's the people who live in Durango. Could you tell us about your experience with music and how you like the music, why you're here?
Yeah, well, we just feel like ragtime's such a big part of our history in America, and so it's so fun to listen to. It's upbeat. We're also big bluegrass fans. He's a banjo guy, and they've all taken some piano lessons, my kids, and so yeah, we just love the music, and piano's amazing.
Thank you.
Here we go, Baltimore Totalo.
tell about the festival and about what you like about festival, how you play in your music, and where you're from.
Sure, I always have enjoyed Ragtime and good friends of Adam Swanson, and he used to come to this festival years ago, and yeah, love how they keep Ragtime alive.
What is your name?
John Hudson.
Nice to meet you, John.
I first I knew of Adam a while ago, but I first started getting to know him about 6 months ago. I started watching his live streams and then contacted him over email and Facebook. We've been good friends since then. I've been wanting to meet him, and especially Piotr, who's also here. So I came over to have a play with all the different musicians, enjoying the after hours and all the music. Best time I've ever had here.
I'm going to bring out the saw and play another saw number for you here. One of my favorite called Sawdust. Is there a song? Oh!
Nobody had a great stage.
My assistant. It's the most dangerous instrument ever devised. Okay, we'll dispense with it. Well, you know, I have a lot of saws, and I have some for solo work, and of course this is the band saw. You saw that coming? Everybody wants to get into the attic. This was cutting edge technology. It's a sentimental favorite called If You Were the Only Girl in the World, You Could Name Your Own Price.
I've never done this before.
You want to play the verse?
Sure.
Not too bad. Oh, you're going to play it from there? You can play it.
That was the introduction.
Oh. Are we starting?
Yes. How do we do this?
I thought you were going to play the verse. You know the verse. What song is that?
Whispering.
That's a beautiful verse.
I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I write the Jazz Travels column for the Syncopated Times, which everybody who's interested in this old kind of music should be reading. And this is my first time here. I've been to Durango once before, but not for the festival. It was years and years ago. I saw the lineup of musicians here, and I said, this is worth the trip. And so I made a special trip here for this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to hear all this beautiful music.
Yes,
thank you.
Came to the right place.
And so when he was rediscovered, he would started writing music again. And one of the tunes that he wrote is a tune called UB's Classical Rag, which is just lovely. And so being a classic ragtime concert, and UB Blake being a classic ragtime composer, it's double the classic, double the fun. But to do it, we'd have to have another pianist out here. And Jeff, are you back there? I am. Yay! All right, excellent. We'll tell you what, we're going to play UB's Classical Rag. It wasn't written as a duet, but UB isn't here, so he won't mind. It's all right.
That wasn't written for drums either.
That's true. That's true. Is it being
this festival because it's so well run. They've got the best piano players in the world here. And unlike the larger ragtime festivals, I don't have to make a choice as to what I want to watch. I just go when it's scheduled and I don't miss anything. So that I recommend this festival for anybody.
Good. I hope you will. I think you all know what this is. And then you can have a taste.
music and share it with your friends.